What is going on YouTube? This is going to be the first ever Mailbag Q4G Q&A, whatever you want to title it. That's what this video and these series of videos are going to be. I've asked you guys to submit your questions on Discord, Twitter, Twitch, comments in my YouTube videos, the Twitch chat, and I was going to compile those and make a video. This is that video. I'm going to be answering some of the questions that were submitted, and we'll get right into that. Alright, just like the intro said, this is going to be me answering questions you guys submitted on my social medias. I'm not saying in the near future, but sometime going forward, I'm going to want all the questions filtered through the Discord channel. I will leave that in the description at the video, and that way I don't have to go through all these social medias pulling these questions and then compiling a list and answering them. I can just pull up Discord server and answer them straight from the Discord server. As of right now, I do have a channel inside my Discord for these questions. Not saying that all of them must go through that, but at some point, I would like all those questions to be filtered through that. I will leave that in the link in the description. With that being said, our first question is coming from Lathrat. What do you play other than Neverwinter? As of right now, I'm playing Neverwinter, Warzone, Borderlands 3, and some Marvel games. The Marvel's Avenger game that came out like a year and a half ago for all platforms, and a mobile game called Marvel Strike Force. Marvel Strike Force is a turn-based. I really enjoy it. It's a hero collector. They come out with patches all the time. They update their game all the time. It's a very decent mobile game to play. It is a little bit pay to win if you're into that thing, but you can get everything free to play. I myself is a free to play. They just came out with battle passes, so on and so forth. This is not a promotion for that, but as of right now, I'm playing Warzone, Neverwinter, Borderlands, and the 2 Marvel games. Next question is coming from Confident Kill. What is my all-time favorite game? What is my all-time favorite game? It would have to be Gauntlet Dark Legacy. It is a very old game. They came out with an arcade 2D version a long time ago. I don't know the year. Don't ask me. Then it came out with a reboot called Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I played it on the GameCube. It came out for like PlayStation and I don't know what else, but I know PlayStation and GameCube. And it was just a dungeon crawler. You had 1 of 4 classes. It was a jester, a barbarian, a wizard, and a jester, I think. 4 class. Oh, dwarf. A dwarf was the 4th class. And you would go through each zone and you would collect these pieces of a stained glass window, and you would unlock a boss and you would fight the boss and so on and so forth. It's pretty good. Now, if I played it now, it probably wouldn't be as good as what I remember it to be, but thinking back, that's probably some of the most enjoyable gaming I've had. Right? They did come up with another game called 7 Stars, which was complete trash. One of the worst games ever played. Worst games ever played. Alright. Next question is coming from Project Zakaria. What is the best advice for new players in Neverwinter? Best advice for new players in Neverwinter would have to be do your research. Neverwinter is a grind. Again, it's free to play. You can pay to get there quicker. But my best advice would be, 1, know your role that you're playing. If you're DPS, stay DPS. If you're tank. If you're healer. Don't try to be a healer, DPS, so on and so forth. Manage your resources wisely. Just because you got an artifact that gives you a little bit of stats doesn't mean you should upgrade it right then and there. Especially if you're free to play, you're going to need these resources. You're going to run out of resources because you have to, 1, get 10 companions. You have to get 10 mounts. You have to get insignias. You have to get companion gear. You have to get enchants. You have to get runestones. You have to get weapon and armor. Gems. You have to get 4 artifacts. You have to get a lot. And a lot of resources go into this. So if you're out here wasting resources, refinement, or rank 5s or whatever have you, you're going to be losing in the long term. So think, invest your resources wisely, and get some incredible and good knowledge from players that have been there and know what they're talking about. Because you're going to get a lot of different advices, you're going to get a lot of different point of views from a lot of different people. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a little overwhelming when you're first starting out and Joe Blow's telling you to rock a flaming enchant on your weapon, and Mark over here is telling you to rock a lightning on your enchant. What do you do? Are you going to waste resources going with the first person, which flaming is terrible, or are you going to get the lightning? So know what you're talking about, know what your goals are, and do not waste resources. Especially if you're free to play. Do not waste your resources. Next question is coming from Choice Bullet. Knowing what you know now, would you still main a Barb? No. The Barbarian, let's give it a little backstory. The Great Weapon Fighter was a good class for mods on end. It didn't get touched, didn't get nerfed, whatever. It was a decent class. Fast forward to mod 20, the Barbarian, your average Barbarian with the same gear as a Trickster Rogue, Hunter Ranger, just can't compete. Now the top 1%er barbs are amazing, right? But your average Barbarian can't compete with your average Hunter Ranger, Trickster Rogue. Secondly, if you're not having a good group to play with every day, being a solo DPS is going to be hard for you to find content, especially dungeons to run. So knowing what I know now, I would probably go with a cleric starting off with, because you can heal and you can spec into a DPS role to do your daily content, and you can heal in dungeons because everyone needs a healer, especially if you're a good one. Once you establish that you're a good healer, finding content around is going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to run with you, everyone's going to invite you. When you're a mediocre DPS, it's going to be hard for you to find a group to run with, especially if you're a Barb. So knowing what I know now, if you're heavy on support, I would probably go cleric. If you're heavy on DPS, I would probably go Trickster Rogue or Hunter Ranger. As of right now, could change. Mod 21 could change everything. As of right now, in the recording of this video, I would say no, I probably wouldn't main a Barb. I would probably start with a cleric just so I can have more options to run content. Next question is coming from Jay Rivera. Do you think Neverwinter is heading in a good path? And what would you do? What would I like to change? So compared to the game after Ravenloft, the game lost a lot of players. The game lost a lot of trust. The community basically started departing the game from the poster gate, or whatever you're going to call that, ban gate. The game has lacked in content. Up until about a year and a half ago, they've started releasing modules and episodes. So they'll give you some content right off the jump. A couple weeks later, a month later, they'll give you some more content to run, and then so on and so forth. They break it down so the people that are running it have options to do after the first couple weeks. After you get the dungeon unlocked, they give you more incentives to run it. For example, New Sharndar. You unlock the dungeon, you grind it out. The people that can complete it off the rip are you making AD off of the artifacts and the neck and belt. Fast forward, episode 2 comes out, and they add legendary rings that are pretty good, best in slot for some of them, and it makes people want to run that content again, right? That's what it's about. It's about getting people to run content. If people aren't getting on your game, you're not making any money for a free-to-play game, so on and so forth. Now, as of the recording of this video, episode 3 for New Sharndar came out for PC today. New content, new things to do, just new things to explore, right? I think they've done a better job now than they did 2 years ago. I think there's still a long way to go, especially with the gear related to each module. What I mean by that is, in my honest opinion, a game like this, a new module comes out, there should be a new set of gear. New set of gear gets people to run the content, gets the old content, promotes progression, gets people to use their resources, so on and so forth. For those who have been playing the game forever, the Demogorgon set, the artifact set, was best in slot for like 4 years. Was best in slot for 4 years. Now, a set like that should not be best in slot for 4 years. Now, they shouldn't nerf it, but they shouldn't make it so overpowered that it's best in slot for 4 years. Right? People should be running the Zariel weapons. They're the newest weapons out there. They should be best in slot. The devs should find a way, if you're coming out with a new weapon slot, even if it's just 1% better than the previous weapon slot, it's still 1%. People are going to go after that 1%. Right? People are going to go after the 1%. So each module, raise the freaking stats a little bit, and raise, even if it's the same power, even if it's the same set bonus, raise it just a tad bit, to make people pursue this content. Make people pursue getting progression. Because that's what these games are about. They're about progression. They're not about having a stagnant artifact set for years, for mods. In my opinion. I could be wrong. You guys could say, Frank, shut the hell up. My opinion, that's what a game like this should do. There's other things that they should do. I think they've did pretty well with monetizing their game in the last 2 years or so with the appearance. The wings, the mount wings are pretty good. They look nice, right? They look pretty good. The fact that you're levitating off the ground and your wings are flapping looks pretty good, aesthetically wise, right? Looks pretty good. They need to get the people that have Zen to spend their Zen. And what better way of doing it to release these mounts that are 4,000 Zen, get people using it. So, Jay Rivera, I do think it's heading in a good path. I think there is still some wiggle room to make the game better. I do think the game is better now than what it was mod 17. So yeah, with the last 2 mods, they did a pretty good job of keeping people entertained and on the game. The next question is coming from Mark L. What is my favorite dungeon to run? I'm probably going to catch slack for this, but my favorite dungeon to run is going to be Master Spellplague. I think it's a pretty decent dungeon. With the exception of the Cabal fight, the first boss, it's a little long. Sometimes it used to bug out. I don't know if it does anymore, to where you can't explode the balls and things like that. But mechanically based, I think it's pretty good. The Cabal fight's good. The second boss on the platform and the stuns, that was pretty good. When it first came out, people were struggling, trying not to get froze and knocked off the edge. Now with the DPS and where it is, you can pretty much phase him before he initiates the stone freeze and the jump. I'm not sure what you want me to call the mechanic, but you guys know what I'm talking about, where he, if you look in the eye, he freezes you, turns into stone, and then he does this jump which pushes you backwards and normally pushes you off the edge. And then the third boss, the only problem, I wouldn't say a problem, but one of the biggest problems before is you would melt the boss so fast it would wipe you. Now with the lack of buffs and things, it's people know that not to go full hard mode on the first phase of that. But as of right now, from what I can remember, I would say Master Spellplague. Master Spellplague is probably my favorite dungeon to run. No one wants to run it anymore because it's cancer and you don't get anything from it. So why bother? So yeah. Sunny Days, what is your favorite Marvel movie? As you guys can tell in the background, I'm a big fan of Marvel. I'm excited for the upcoming stuff. Loki comes out as of the recording of this video tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to hopefully open the way for the X-Men / mutants to come in with the timeline. We're not going to get into it. Favorite Marvel movie as of right now would have to be Endgame. They just did a pretty good job of ending chapters to all the people that carried Marvel for the last 10 years, with Iron Man and Captain America. Standalone movie would probably have to be Iron Man 3 or Black Panther. Both were pretty good. A part of me wants to go back and watch them in the way they were released, starting from Captain America or Iron Man 1, just to watch them again, to see if I pick up any small details, things like that. But as of right now, it would have to be Endgame if we're talking in the whole MCU universe, and if we're talking a standalone, Iron Man 3 / Captain America. Last question is coming from Georgia Pacific. How long have I been playing Neverwinter? I've forgotten how long I've been playing. If I had to take a guess, it would probably be about 5 to 6 years at least. I've been playing when Castle Never came out. Not the first iteration of Castle Never, but the second. Back when everyone was farming Demogorgon set. Back when everyone was trying to get their Twisted set. That's how long I've been playing. I did take breaks here and there. I mean, the content got stale. The community dried up. Now it's doing a better job of getting people back on the game. But yeah, I would say at least 6 years. If you guys know what I'm talking about and when the second iteration of Castle Never came out, let me know in the comments below. That's when I started playing heavily. That's when I got into the game. My first day playing Neverwinter, I played for 14 hours straight, leveling. Rest in peace, leveling. Rest in peace, leveling. Yeah, I played and I thought it was awesome. I thought leveling was awesome, and then once I got done leveling, I said I'm never leveling again. And then that's pretty much the biggest reason why I don't get new tunes. For those who watch the content know that I've been maining a barbarian, and I dipped my toes into other classes, but never really dived into them. One being the DODC and the other one being the tank. It takes a lot of resources to get there. Not only does it take a lot of resources to get there, it takes a lot of time to level. We're talking about hours of running. Now, they are going to rework the leveling system. They are fast tracking it from level 1 to endgame. I think it's because they can monetize their content better. But that's another story for another video. I'm kind of excited. The fact that it's not going to take you as long, theoretically, to level from 1 to 80 than it is from 1 to 20. The guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I should be having a video coming up in the near future going over them reworking the leveling system. But with that being said, guys, that's all the questions I have for you guys. If you guys want to submit questions for a later video like this, let me know in the comments below. #Q4G. Let me know on Twitter, Discord, Twitch, or reach out to me on Xbox. All my socials will be linked in the description below. Twitter, Twitch, Discord, and my Gamertag if you guys want to run some content, or if you need help with something, please let me know. Reach out to me. I'm definitely in the helping mood. I'm definitely in the mood to help the community get better at this game, because the more people that are better at this game, the more people we have on this game, the more people we have on this game, the better the game becomes, hypothetically speaking. Guys, again, thanks for watching, thanks for submitting these questions, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.